Hi guys, welcome back to Memaw's Table. Today, I am going to start gluing up these triangle slices into, I don't know, what am I going to call them? Triangle quarters. And then I'm going to glue up the quarters into the full table length centerline design. Well, last night I discovered something. If you've been watching, you know, I cut these triangle slices out of what I called triangle planks. There's about 12 of these in one big solid plank. Well, I've discovered there's some variances between those four planks, albeit the thickness of each little trapezoid makes the slice a little longer. That came from the fact that I planed all of the original wood from about an inch down to about 3/4. Well, I did that on two separate days with two separate loads of lumber. And as hard as I tried to get them exactly the same height, I'm talking down to within a half a millimeter. Um, they were about 20 millimeters, which is close to 3/4, I guess, as I could possibly get. I mean, I had a micrometer. I was measuring it, and I thought I had it, but I was off by, I don't know, half a millimeter, or whatever. So that caused a little bit of a variance. The glue up of the triangle logs as I was mashing them in that clamping jig that I built, sometimes some rose, some lowered, you know, and that affected the geometry of the ultimate triangle, you know, the end product, the triangle slice. So let me get my camera and I'm going to show you. Let me line these up as best I can. So here are samples from the four planks. I've got them as close to as possible aligned on the end, but you can see in the pattern, they don't quite line up. And while that's only just a few millimeters, let me show you what happens if you just keep on pressing on with that plan. Let's see, which one is number 3? I think it's this one here. Back. Oh, this is 3. So let's stack these together as if I were gluing them up. Come back this row. There. So again, here's the 4. But watch as this transmits down the length of the table, further and further apart. Maybe you see it better this way now. So what does that do? Well, I want them to eventually be form of kind of a mosaic all the way down. Nice, cool 3D effect. Well, if these start shifting off, you're not going to see a pattern. It's just going to be a hodgepodge of different colored wood. So what do I do about it? Well, it's about noon on Sunday. I've been out here since about 8:30, staring at these triangles, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, rearranging them, mix and matching them. And I finally came up with a solution. Each batch has their own unique issues. Like here is batch number 4. I know you can't see this, has a tiny little rise there. See how that just rises up a little bit? Well, that causes the triangles on top of it to not, want to lay flat. And again, as it transmits all the way down the table, it becomes a really big deal. So this is my triangle plank number 4 that I made these slices out of. So every piece I cut from that has that issue. Each batch, like I said, has their own issues. So what I'm going to do, I figured it out. I'm going to joint, like for example, number 4, I'm going to run it through the jointer on this edge to make it nice and flat. One of those other batches, I'm going to have to do the same thing on the top, all the way down. I'm going to joint either the top or the bottom or whatever to make it match. And that should help with the glue up. There's another issue that I've run into. Let me lay these flat, show you. These together against that wood. Okay, there. All of the slices from the same plank will glue up very nice. They all have the same geometry. But when I go from, say, slice 4 to slice 3, right there, doesn't quite match. From 3 to 1, it's even more apparent. This is from 1 to 2. So, fix for that. On the ends of each one of these, I'm going to get just as close to that edge on the miter saw and cut a perfect 30. In the glue up, that 30 shifted to 29 or 30.5 or whatever, just enough. Again, as you transmit down the table, it's getting further and further off. So, one by one, each of these 48 triangle slices, I'm going to have to do some sort of little machining to it before I glue it up. And then once we glue it up, it should be nice and tight. So what do you think? A little technical. Again, I've been staring at this for about 3.5 hours. And I think I have a solution because I didn't want to do a fix that would then break something else, you know, because we can't have any mistakes at this point. So I'm going to get started. Talk to you soon.